Saint's dropping new holiday releases, a new limited edition color of the palette, a travel ball. In here, there are two smaller sized brushes. You have a brow spoolie, and then you have this bigger, really soft, beautiful brush. I'm gonna do my 3D foundation with this and play with it and show you how to use it. Just so you are aware, the compact, the mirror does have a protective film. So make sure you remove that. Shouldn't be scratched or looking funky. There should be film on it. I'm actually gonna start with this angled brush and go into my contour and apply that. While this isn't the ideal contour brush, it does a really good job to be in this travel kit because you can use it for so many things. And as you can see, I can use it for my eyeshadow and really get detailed in there. If you have followed me, you know I like to practice the demi method, which is adding color where it's needed. So amongst adding contour, I also will add color to wider spots around the eyes just to lessen the dramatic effect of my under eyes, so I can use less concealer. I also like to place it in between melasma spots just to fill in and even out the skin without using a lot of product. Because for me, I like to use the least amount of product possible, but achieve a really natural look. Then I'm gonna go in with this bigger brush and I'm gonna go into my bronzer. I'm using Xanadu for this. And we're just gonna blend it into that contour. Again, the same reason I'm going in with bronzer before I go in with my foundation is so that I can use less foundation. I'm actually going to go back in with that angled brush to apply my darker shade in some of the areas of my face that need a little extra coverage, like underneath my eyes or around my nose. So we're just going to lightly tap into that and lightly tap and press. And because this is really fluffy, it's going to give me a really light application. If I color match you, this is called a camo shade concealer, so I'm not putting a ton of product underneath my eyes. Color is so important when you're covering up areas that are darker, have more redness. If you use the right color, you don't have to use as much product. And I try to do the least amount of layers as possible, which is key if you don't want a bunch of added texture to your skin. Then I'm gonna go in with this bigger brush, going to my main foundation shade, and we're just gonna tap and tap. Applying in the stabbing motion is the best way to apply cream foundation. And then I can use it to blend out that contour bronzer. You don't want to over blend that contour bronzer, so just be really careful with that. But as you really press this cream into the skin, it warms up and just blends so beautifully. You can see how quick and easy that went on, and it is giving a more full coverage application. At this point, you can touch back up if you feel like there are areas that you went a little too far with your foundation. You can go back in and add a little bit more bronzer or contour where it's needed. If you still have remaining coverage needed, I highly recommend you use color correctors. It's gonna make the best impact with the least amount of product, and so I'm gonna do that now. Do this using the On Point brush, a more precise application, allowing me to really get on the color that I need with the color that I need. The placement of color is the most important part of this step. You're really targeting that excess color and trying to use the least amount of product as possible. And you might need a few colors. Maybe it is a little green, but then there's a little bit of shadow, so you have to add a little bit of orange for the blue. So when I say get the color correctors, I always recommend getting at least 3. You're going to want a red, a yellow, and an orange. And with those 3, you'll be able to tackle just about anything that comes up on your face. You can set it after with the feather blotting dust or any powder that you like if you want to make sure that it will not budge after you have applied. But these colors can make such a big difference without adding a lot of product. And is actually my favorite to use under the eyes if you want a creaseless under eye. One of the best selling lip and cheek colors from Saint. They are releasing in our packaging from our the Diamonds Are Forever lipstick. So it's a beautiful, so if you're someone that is like, okay, I don't mind the lip and cheeks, but I would love an actual lipstick to put in my purse, or I just prefer on my lips to apply with a lipstick. This is a beautiful, it's got the monogram on the top of it, and it's a magnetic closure, so it's a really luxury feeling. It's perfect for your purse. This is Black Cherry. Look how pretty that is. I'm gonna apply this. I'm actually gonna use it on the cheek and the lips. So I'm just gonna add a little bit here on the cheek, and I'll just use that same brush to just lightly blend that in. I'm also gonna show you how beautiful this is on the lip. There's also this really beautiful multi-use pencil called Mulberry that would go perfectly to match Black Cherry. If you want a little bit more definition around the lips, I highly recommend using a pencil. You could even go in with a cooler pencil for contour to add some definition to make the lips look fuller. So to do that, I'm just gonna take this color called Chai right here at the bottom. And right here. Just really softly. All right, so that's the final look. I added that day 1 of the advent calendar to my eye, just as a single eyeshadow. And that's using the Travel Kit 3D foundation in the 1 compact and with that beautiful palette. If you want help choosing your shades to try this cream foundation, this all-in-one compact makes it really easy to be on the go, check out the link below and I can help you with that.